everyone, and welcome to this video. I don't even know where to start, honestly, but let me just start by saying I am currently in Budapest, Hungary, and if you're following chess, you might know what that means. It means that I am here for the Chess Olympiad. It is such an honor to be here, not just to be here, but I'm playing in this tournament. It's been 8 years since I played in my last Olympiad, my first and last one. So I'm super happy to be back. This tournament is a national team event and I'm representing the Netherlands in a women's section. So I'm super excited to be here. And this video is going to be the recap of round 2. In round 1, I was benched. I was not playing in the first round. And at the same time, Magnus Carlsen was not playing either. So you know what they say, it means that they bench the best players. So I'll take it as a hint from captain that captain believes me to be the best player of the team. Surely, right? Anyway, let's talk about round 2, because round 2, I don't even know where to start with this. Let's just start with the first 2 moves, okay? So first of all, we were facing North Macedonia, and I'm on board 4. So I'm the reserve player. If one of the other players are not playing, then I am playing on board 4. So if I play on board 4. And on board 4, I was facing Sanja Trajkovsvka. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but she is 1920 FIDE. And yeah, she used to be higher rated. She has had some ups and downs, so she's been going back and forth in rating, but she's someone to not underestimate at all. And yeah, I was expecting move e4. She played move e4, e6, d4, d5. And here I was very well prepared against the advanced variation. But guess what? She didn't play that. This was the first time, at least in the database games that she played in these kind of competitions. She always played the advanced variation, but this time she took on d5. She played the exchange variation. I could not believe it. I mean, that's the worst nightmare of a French player. But for me, I'm fine with it because it gives you an open position, a playable position. I'm fine with it. But the problem is that I know that I'm facing someone that has very well prepared against me. And even though I don't really have issues in this opening, it's becoming a little bit different when your opponent plays moves such as bishop f4. And I was here like, what am I supposed to do? I just played bishop d6 because, okay, let's challenge that bishop and try to trade it off. Queen d2 to d2. Of course, my opponent wants to take on f4 with the queen and to get the queen active. So I'll just go bishop f5. And here bishop takes d6 was played. Here I was pretty happy about it because now bishop takes d6 was not necessary. But yeah, I don't know what's going on here already. I'm just developing, and I guess my opponent should have developed here instead of taking on d6. But bishop takes d6, I was happy about this because now my queen comes out, queen takes d6, knight c3. And here I just wanted to make sure that knight b5 is not happening whatsoever. So I played c6, which was probably not necessary, but just to be sure. And deep inside, I'm already feeling that maybe my opponent is going long castle, most likely. And I'm going to attack with b5, b4 someday, who knows. So long castle was indeed played, and here I was like, okay, I know what we're dealing with here. So knight e7, I'm making sure that rook e1 does not come a check, so I can always castle. And here my opponent went for f3. So here I'm already thinking, okay, I don't really want to play short castle anymore, because if I do that, then g4, h4, and everything comes on my roof on the king side. And they didn't really want to allow that. So knight d7 was played by me. I'm keeping my options open. Maybe I want to play long castle instead. And here knight ge2 was played, which I was a bit surprised by this because it feels like it's blocking the pieces quite a bit. But I guess my opponent really doesn't want to play bishop to d3, so I guess it does make sense. And she wants to capture my bishop, right? So here I got stubborn and I went for the move b5. I should have taken it easy. I should have played something like h5 to stop any sort of g4 and to give my bishop some more space over here because it doesn't really have many squares left, right? So yeah, it was hard for me to figure out what the plan was. I did consider knight b6 too, but I didn't like that It was blocking my pawn on b7, and maybe I wasn't able to attack after that. So I just wanted to play b5 and see what happens. But after queen f4, I was already really sad here because I don't want to trade queens. If there's one thing I want to avoid here, it's trading queens, right? So I was a little bit, I wouldn't say upset, but more like frustrated because I'm already playing against the exchange variation, which is already quite drawish. Against a stronger player, it's great, right? Because, okay, if they really want to play this opening and have like, give me like an equal position very easily, that's great. But my opponent is lower rated than me. So if there's anything I don't want, I don't want a draw at all. And I don't want to trade pieces so easily. So I'm playing queen g6. And here my opponent went for rook d2. I thought maybe my opponent had moves such as knight to g3 or g4, because it feels like my bishop, I can take the pawn on c2, but if you look closer, it's really hard to see how I'm able to keep that bishop alive. Because let's say g4, bishop takes c2, and now rook d2, and my bishop is actually trapped already. I mean, I can play the move bishop to d3, but it felt like something was going to happen here. Something felt really off, and I really didn't like that my opponent could, you know, threaten so many things. My queen was very, very loose there. I have to keep defending my bishop here, but for how long can I do that? So I was not really sure what was going on here. So that's why I was happy my opponent went for rook d2 instead, because it looked quite dangerous for me here. I didn't really like this piece formation here. It felt very tricky. It felt very loose. So anyway, my opponent for rook d2, so I went for b4. I thought, okay, I have to do something, knight to d1, and here h5 to try to stop g4 at least for the time being. And here my opponent played knight f2, and here I was very surprised because I didn't see this move coming at all. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized that maybe I am in trouble because g4 is incoming, and I don't really want to play h4 myself, because then what if my opponent plays g4 anyway, and then pawn takes, and then pawn takes, or knight takes, either move works. And I thought that if there's anyone that should be happy about this trade over here, it should be my opponent, I think, because my pieces are still stuck, and I'm not able to make progress whatsoever. So that is why I really didn't like h4. I thought it was helping my opponent quite a bit. So I thought, okay, I'm realizing I'm in a worse position already. So that asks for desperate measures here. So I play a5, and yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing at this point, but I'm just hoping to survive. g4 was played. I take f takes g4. And here I made a big mistake. I played bishop e6. Now, I didn't know this was a mistake because I thought I had to play this, because if I played a move bishop to e4, I thought that, let's say, knight takes, and then I thought that pawn takes was like the worst move I could possibly play because knight to g3, and this pawn is permanently weak. There's no way I'm okay here. Apparently, computer thinks this is zeros. I don't know what the computer is on about here, but apparently it's even here after knight f6. I don't understand at all, but yeah, this is completely insane. And also my king is so extremely weak here. There's no way I'm going to survive this with still the queens on the board here. But apparently the computer thinks it's fine, but I don't quite believe it. I guess I'd have to look into that much closer to understand truly what's going on here. But visually, it just looks horrendous here. So here I went for bishop e6, and here I start to get in trouble. Queen to g3, and here I realized that maybe I'm actually lost, because my opponent's starting knight f4, and once my bishop on e6 is captured, where is my king actually going? I don't really know. I have a sore throat, so this is like very convenient, but I felt so sick during the game. I haven't been feeling this sick the past few days. Like, I've been feeling fine, but today it really hit me. I don't know what happened. Like, my head was exploding, my throat was really acting up, and I was really in the worst state possible. I don't know, but I'm also losing my voice, so let's finish this recap quickly. h4. Here, I'm realizing that, once again, I'm in big trouble, because not only is, like, I'm seeing that my position is really bad. My pieces are not coordinating at all. But how do I stop g5, h5, knight f4? All of these moves are just coming towards me, and I don't know what to do. So here I play g6, hoping that I can play queen g7, and then maybe c5, and somewhat try to open up some diagonals to try to counter attack somehow. Knight f4 was played, and here I go all in with a4. I have nothing to lose anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. Knight takes e6, f takes e6, g5. My opponent plays all the right moves. Knight f5, queen c7. I had a nice intermediate move here because, of course, if my opponent takes, then knight takes g3, and this pawn is lost, and I'm very happy here. So here, queen to c7, and I saw this move, of course, but what I didn't see is after queen g7, queen takes c6, I missed that there's bishop b5. I was thinking of bishop h3, trying to attack my knight and all of that, but I missed that there's bishop b5. Because now I have to move my king because this rook is hanging, this pawn is hanging, and I thought if short castle, well, queen takes e6 and my position is just collapsing, right? So how about no? But here, king e7 and bishop b5. And as I played king e7, I already realized what the problem was. There was bishop b5 on the way. And I just don't know what to do. I'm stunned here. I had 9 minutes over here. So we're about 24 here. My opponent was on 6 minutes. And I just don't know what to play. I know that every single move I play, I'm just dead lost. And throughout the game, by the way, the time management was really bad. I was struggling a lot, mostly because of me not feeling well. I was struggling a lot to make moves and think. It was really tough. When it was my opponent's turn, I could just not think at all. All I could think about was not trying to cough a lot because I was really going through it today. But anyway, bishop b5 was played, and finally I decided to play rook a7. I thought, okay, instead of rook hd8, that was my second thought. Maybe I could move the rook there. But I thought, first of all, this queen is kind of trapped now, so that could be helpful. Second of all, maybe I can play rook takes h4 and try to attack somehow with the rook coming from the other side. I don't know. Anyway, rook e1. I see all of these moves. I'm expecting this, but I don't know what to do. So I play e3 here, really going all in here. Queen takes e6, king d8. I'm really losing my voice over here. This is crazy. That's how crazy this game was. So king d8, I'm just trying to survive here. Queen takes e5. I'm currently down 3 pawns. 3 pawns! And my king is still in the worst spot possible. If you could pick a worse square for that king, please let me know. But I find this possibly the worst square in the position. Anyway, rook takes h4. I'll take the pawn. It's like a pity pawn, Knight e4, queen 7. At least I have a pin over here, so my opponent cannot move the knight that easily. And here, queen g8 check. Now we're down to 1 minute each, basically. So this is move 29, 11 moves to go, and we're in 1 minute. So this is like very stressful moment. I run away with my king, queen c4 check, king b8. I'm just trying to survive here. I don't know what else to do. Rook d2, so of course now the knight move, any knight move is a threat now, basically. So here I go for rook c7, queen g8 check. It felt like my opponent was not sure what to do here, especially because of the low time situation. But after queen g8 check, at least I figured, okay, my opponent is not so sure what to do with the queen. So that gave me a lot of hope. Here, rook c8, queen d5. And turns out that the only move to keep the advantage up is knight f6. I guess it makes sense when you have 30 minutes on your clock and you have no stress whatsoever. I guess it makes sense to counterattack this way because knight takes d7 is hanging, rook takes e7, of course, everything is hanging here, and still white is still up 2 pawns, right? So any trade is just winning. But to find this with 30 seconds on the clock is just insane. So I didn't see this move at all. But I figured there were some tactics that, would make me lose on the spot. I figured there was something, but I couldn't quite figure out what. And I thought, okay, I have to worry about surviving here. So I'll leave the conversion part to my opponent. So my opponent went for queen to d5. And here, knight b6. And once I played knight b6, I thought, oof, okay, now we're talking. I think we're back in the game. At least during game, I thought this was the moment that I'm back in the game. Although I do have to say that here my opponent went for queen e5 check. Now I thought that maybe queen b3 would have been better because after knight takes d4, queen to g3, queen c7, and here I wasn't sure about queen takes h4. But what I did miss during the game, so I'm sacrificing a rook here, but apparently b3 is completely fine. Like, I'm winning here, which is crazy. It's because these pawns, one of them is going to promote. So that's really insane to find out now that apparently this is completely winning. So yeah, apparently this was fine. But during the game, I was scared of queen b3. But then she played queen e5 check, and I was really happy about this because queen takes e5, d takes e5, and knight d4. I have the fork. I'm forking the rook and the bishop. Now I'm happy. Knight d6. Here I thought, okay, knight takes e2. And here my opponent made an illegal move. She played the move knight takes c8, thinking that she can capture my rook as well. But what she didn't realize is that she's in check. So as soon as she played this, she pressed the clock, and instantly I paused the clock. I look at the arbiter, and the arbiter was watching the game, so he spotted right away that it's an illegal move. And the process of this is that I get 2 minutes added to my clock, which is like heaven for me right now, because I stacked up my time up to 2 minutes, but this was time scramble situation, 4 more moves to go until the 14th move to get an additional time of 30 minutes. So these 2 minutes would like help a lot right now. So the arbiter is quickly adding 2 minutes to the clock, and yeah, we continue the game where my opponent has to play another move. So if she were to be able to make a move with the knight, then she has to make a move with the knight. But since she can't play any other move. So of course she plays the move bishop takes e2. If rook takes e2, I was going to play rook h1, and I would win the game after king d2, a takes b2, and I'm just promoting on the next move. So that's why she took with the bishop. And here I played the move rook c5. Apparently b3 is the winning move here. This didn't occur to me until a few moves later, when it was too late. And here is the right time, because after it takes b3, a2, and that pawn is going places. Now it's still not so easy. You still have to find the right moves, I guess, because after king d2, rook c5, and it's not that simple, I guess, but it makes sense if you have a lot of time on the clock to find this. But because I played rook c5, not just with the reasoning to attack that pawn, but I thought, let's say bishop d3. I didn't play the move that I was thinking about because I realized it doesn't work. I was thinking rook takes e5, rook takes e5, rook h1 check, king d2, a takes b2. And then I realized my opponent can just move that pawn anywhere, c3 or c4. And the bishop is covering the promotion square. And I thought, I cannot sacrifice a full rook for this. So, yeah. Then I realized, I cannot play rook takes e5. Then what else can I do here? Because my position is, I wouldn't say bad, but I should be concerned here with that pawn on e5. What am I supposed to do? So knight to d5. I'm hoping to trick my opponent with knight f4 and then knight takes d3 check. You know that pawn on c2 is pinned. So b takes a3. Here I go for knight f4. And guess what? I'm losing here. I mean, you can't make this up. Apparently I'm lost here. This is move 39. So the next move is move 40. After that we get 30 minutes on the clock. So apparently the winning move here is bishop c4. And now that I see it, I'm like, wow, it makes so much sense because my rook is completely blocked and my knight is dominated. I don't really have a good square for the knight. My other rook is useless. Of course I'm lost here. So, fortunately, my opponent went for king d2, which is the losing move. And I was so happy when she played this because that was the one move I was calculating and I knew that was losing because rook h2 check. And here, I was so happy to have reached the 14th move. So here we have both 30 minutes each. And I thought I was actually winning on the spot until she played king d1. I was like, okay, wait. It's not that simple actually because I thought I was winning like material on the spot with king e3, knight g2 check. Oh, apparently there's king d4. Okay, don't mind me. I'm not winning at all. Okay, I would have probably calculated all of that and played rook takes e5 instead, I guess. But yeah, that's actually so funny to realize now. But yeah, so king d1. Very happy that king d1 happened anyway because knight takes d3, c takes d3, and rook c2 is the winning move. I guess there's many other moves winning, but the point is that you find rook c2 because you are threatening checkmate in 1. So my opponent has defended. So rook e4, she moves the rook, but the problem is now that I take on a2 with the rook, and now I'm threatening checkmate from here, And if this rook moves anywhere, then rook h1 is also a threat. So there's no way that my opponent can stop both threats, right? So that is why I'm getting a call here. Great timing, because this is actually the end of this game. So this is how I won my game. My opponent was +8. My opponent was +8 at some point. I don't know how I won this. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just exhausted, and I wish I wasn't feeling sick, you know, because I'm feeling really, like, you can hear it in my voice, I guess. Like, I'm really going through it right now, but I'm just going to do my best to get some rest and try to recover as soon as possible. Let's see if I play tomorrow, because it's not sure every single day. As a reserve player, I also don't expect to play all the games, of course. I already set out one game, so I wouldn't mind at all to sit out the next round, honestly. But let's see. I do want to get games in, but I'd also want to feel better soon. So yeah, anyway. What a game it was. My opponent played so well. She really, really did well, but time trouble really got to her. And I guess, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I really thought this was it. I really thought I was going to lose this game. So yeah, I'm just happy it's over. Anyway, I'm going to head out and give my voice some rest. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so, so much for the support. I really hope to make streams work, but it's really difficult over here. Things are really rough. But for now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.